Good afternoon and greetings from Burning Daylight Farms NC. How y'all doing today? Hope everybody's doing good. Thank y'all for tuning in, checking in with us. We appreciate it. Definitely do. Where are we at today? I am propped up on the propane tank, and so are y'all. So I'm not having to hold the camera. Just want to give a shout out to Dan Wells and to Carlos at the Well-Built Propane down there in Bear Creek, North Carolina. Check those fine folks out for your propane needs. They have been very fair to us and very good to us, so I want to give them a shout out. We got our hay this week, 2 loads. It is right back there. Got most of it in the barn. We had some that got wet when we was trying to get it unloaded, so it's out under the edge of the woods there until we can get it, until it dries out, and then it'll go in the barn as well. Other things going on this week, like I said, they came and got the propane, got propane in the tank. We got the stove. I'm not sure if I told y'all we went ahead and put in a gas stove because it already had a gas pack heater system on it, heat exchanger and air conditioning unit together. So we knew we had to have propane put in. So we had that. I've always wanted a gas stove. So we knew it was going to have, the house did not come with one, and we were not going to bring the 35-year-old stove from our previous residence. We was going to have to buy a stove, so my beautiful bride agreed to go with gas. She's a little bit leery of it, but she got to cook the inaugural meal on it because I was outside working. So anyway, but they got that hooked up. He came back and put in the Renee, I think that's how you say it, Renee, on-demand water heater. Now these are some expenses that we had not planned to go into, was the plumbing, which they finished that yesterday. Big shout out to John's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning in Greensboro, North Carolina. They did a very good job, very professional. Mr. Braddock came out and looked over the situation, gave us a quote, what was up against. This house is 100 years old. It's very low to the ground, and it was built originally as a shotgun house. If you don't know what that is, that's a house you can come in the front door and shoot a shotgun out the back door and not hit anything. But over time, previous owners of this property have added on and added on and added on, piece by piece by piece, kind of like Johnny Cash's car, one piece at a time. So with that, it creates a maze of confusion underneath. And as I think I may have mentioned in one of the videos, it was too low for me to get under the house. It's impossible. It's just too low to the ground. So with that, that was an expense we had not planned to do at this time, but when it takes several minutes, I say 5 minutes, it may not have been that long, to run a gallon of water in the house, in the kitchen sink, then it's just too long. So the house was plumbed with galvanized and with copper, and those things over time, galvanized closes up, less and less efficient. Plenty of pressure at the wellhead, plenty of volume, but once you get to the house, there was just not that much water. Shower was very weak, sink's very weak, so didn't want to have to make that expense right now. But you know, you got to do what you got to do. You got to have water and everything to be able to, I don't know, low battery came on, so I don't know if that blocked y'all or not. I'm sorry. I'll make this quick, but anyway, want to give those guys a shout out. Carlos came back today, put the finishing touches on the Renai water heater. That's what we went with. It's very, very energy efficient. It is LP gas. The thing I like about it, when it heats the water, the exhaust heat, it also captures that exhaust heat, recycles it back around, and when the exhaust coming out of it actually going out into the environment is not much more than room temperature air, so they capture every bit of it. It's very energy efficient, and the return on investment, just kind of semi crunching some numbers, looks like probably around 3 years 2 to 3 years on the return on the investment, and the unit will basically have paid for itself in the energy savings versus the old tabletop 1950s vintage water heater that was in the place. The water heater was not leaking, and it was very good at heating water, but that was its one downfall. It loved electricity. So with that, we went ahead and opted, and since we ran into this situation, pardon me, that we were going to have to replumb the house, we went ahead and took the plunge and went ahead and had that, because I could not see them taking their time to replumb into an old antique water heater that we're going to replace in 2 or 3 years. So with that, it's one of those things you just kind of have to weigh it out and go with it. So that's what we did. All right, with that said, I'm going to wrap this up. This will be part 1, unless I can figure out how to put the next video with this one and make it one big long video. And if I can figure out how to do that, I will. But if not, this is part 1. Part 2 is coming up behind it. So from Burning Daylight Farms NC, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you for clicking the like button. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. And I'll be back with you in a little bit. Y'all have a blessed day from Burning Daylight Farms NC. We out of here.